My name is Blake Hall. I go by Heezy. I am the creative director and owner of Fresh Never Fades Clothing, as well as the curator of SOLEcial Media. It's really hard to describe what that is. I mean, a lot of times you look at these subcultures and these niche cultures and put labels on it just to make it easily and readily identifiable. I think that's really all a sneakerhead is. Sneakerhead is just a title that someone created to describe people who they don't really understand. People who have a love for sneakers and gym shoes, and even beyond just the shoes of it, the music, the art. They kind of just gave us this label to identify us. But I think at the core of it, on the upper level of it, people look at it as people who have a shit ton of shoes, or a collection of shoes, or someone who has a bunch of knowledge about shoes. But I think it really goes back to you having to put a bunch of pieces into that. So for me, I think a sneakerhead is someone who loves and appreciates, may not appreciate, someone who loves shoes for whatever reason it may be, and someone who has a connection to sneakers for whatever reason that they may have that connection for. I would say by popular definition I am. For my own saying, I don't think I am. For a few reasons. I don't have a huge collection. I got a decent amount of shoes that I like, that I love, that I wear. I also don't have a huge, vast knowledge. Like I'm relatively young. I'm 28, so for me, I've been in the shoe game for 13 years. But you got cats who've been in for years longer than me. And those are people who have the real knowledge about all these models and the history. So I don't think I'm a sneakerhead because I can't compare to some of the people who have a longer history and a more in-depth relationship with the world. My mom always kept me in dope kicks. Like my first pair of shoes I can remember having, period, were Philip Grant Hills. That's the first shoe I remember having. Like I was like maybe kindergarten, maybe preschool actually. And then I had some Team Jordans, and then my granddad bought me the Taxi 12s. So it kind of go back to that point. I can always remember dope shoes that I had as a kid growing up. But what really sparked it over for me was two things. One, look at my older brother, who really wasn't into fashion and stuff like that, but he always had clean shoes on. He was a big Air Max guy. So he had a bunch of Air Max 90s and 95s. It was that coupled with when I got to high school, the cats that I ended up becoming close friends with, like brothers with, they were all in the Jordans and all that kind of stuff. But me getting there, I was more of an Air Force One guy. But I took what I saw my brother doing with Air Maxes and stuff, and then my childhood just having clean shoes, plus me being Air Force Ones and my friends being Jordans, all that tied together. And then I just went off the deep end and became a junkie after that. This is something I think about pretty often, actually. Like I look at things and I look at it, I kind of have the same viewpoint that Clark Kent has, in the sense of I look at it as more of a community than I have also the viewpoint of it's more of a lifestyle, because you live it. You live this sneaker shit. It may not be your motivation for waking up every morning, but sometimes that sneaker shit what pushes you. So for me, it's just a thing. It's a world, really. I look at it as bigger than a culture, bigger than a society. It's a world within itself. How it operates, how it moves, how people within it talk to each other, love one each other, hate one each other. That kind of thing is all operates in this big sphere together. I think of it as the culture. The culture is a world in itself. Is how I look at it. This box. This is my first Nike ID that I ever did, and I kind of cheated the system because I wanted to commemorate the launch of SOLEcial Media by creating a shoe. When I got on Nike ID, I had never done Nike ID before, but I always wanted to. So when I got on there, I wanted to do an Air Force One, but the options weren't really anything that I really was digging. So I went with an Air Max One, and it's to commemorate the first episode of this web series, which was supposed to be called From the Box, but the name ended up being changed to Inside the Box. So on the heel tab, it says FTB, From the Box, and then 001, episode 1. But the name changed, so this shoe might not ever get worn. It might stay dead stock in a box somewhere to commemorate this, and I'll make another pair with the correct word on the back or something like that. So a few different things actually. So the biggest inspiration of this shoe is the Dave's Quality Meat Bacon Air Max 90. That's where you got. So I use like this sail color suede with a pink suede here, and then the I think it was Team Red, they labeled it, but almost like a burgundy color leather. So I layered those to have the same effect that he had with the 90s, and then the different texture between the leather and the suede. That was trying to pay homage to that shoe. Then the gum bottom, I don't think there's anything doper on the shoe than the gum bottom. On the Air Max 1, Air Force 1, gum bottoms is the move. Then the blue mesh, it was just, the blue looked good with everything on it. The white was all right, but the blue looked better. It made the pink of the shoe pop a little bit more, the lining and the laces and the swoosh. And then so I wanted to have a mixture of materials really. So you got rubber, suede, mesh, leather. I wanted to have as many materials on the shoe as possible and try to keep it all one cohesive look. And then I just threw the red on the eyelets and the air bubble just because red is my favorite color. But the biggest inspiration of this shoe was the Dave's Quality Meat Air Max 90, because it was something that I had seen a lot on sneaker blogs growing up, and it kind of just stuck with me. So when I got my first chance to do a ID, so it came to my head. You can say that about any shoe. Like I said, me personally, I'm a big Air Force One guy. So I remember my very first pair of Air Force Ones in 2001. Like I can say the same thing about the shape of those. Like everything's going to change just off the strength of Nike changing manufacturers and all that kind of good stuff. So you're never going to have the same thing. But I feel like as long as the shoe itself is still what you thought it was, and I can see they did something totally crazy and the whole outsole and midsole changed, or the whole upper changed. But I mean, you can't really, there's really no room to be that much of a purist anymore. Like you got to have some kind of leeway in the thing where you look at things changing, evolving, materials changing, lasts and shit changing. Like it's not gonna be the same as it was 10 years ago. So those kind of people, like, either you gonna get with the shoe and still love it, or you not. Like if you love that shoe, nothing really is gonna affect that true love for it. That's how I look at it, at least. So when I was in college, I went to Kentucky State University, which is in Frankfort, Kentucky. It's that dead center. It's like 6 hours from Detroit, 6 hours from Atlanta, 5 hours from Chicago. I could get to any big city fairly quickly. So it was a weekend, and I had gotten into it with the girl I was dating at the time. So I was just like, I'm gonna get away for a little bit. So I drove to Atlanta to visit one of my best friends. It's a 6 hour drive. I only was there for maybe like a day and a half. So I drove down to Atlanta, and it happened to be the day that the very first Air Max came out. The Air Max 1, and it had the red, but it had that neon green, and Wish had them. They was just chilling in the store. And I got there the night before, and we kicked it with the dinner, whatever. Next day, we woke up, I'm like, let's get some lunch, hang out, go to the mall, whatever. So we went to Lennox, went to the Nike store, let's go to Wish. We go to Wish, and I see the shoe. I'm like, oh shit, that shit kind of hard. And it was, I had just really gotten into Air Max ones. Because I was going through this weird kind of phase. I was like, I really wasn't sure if I still was heavy in the streetwear or wearing t-shirts and jeans, or if I was a guy who wanted to wear polos and shit all the time. So the Air Max 1 let me do both, really. So it was sitting there, and I picked it up. It was dope. And I just didn't buy it. I don't know why. I think I was like, you know what, I can get later on. Some bullshit. And I didn't buy the shoe. And then when I got back to Kentucky, I'm like, no, let me get the shoe. So I called him like, hey bro, go back to Wish for me and grab that shoe. But them shits is gone, bro. You're not getting them. So I jump on, at the time, wasn't no StockX or GOAT. It was still eBay and SOLEcial Marketplace. So I got on SOLEcial Marketplace, and I saw them joints on there in a size 10 for like $520. And I was like, fuck did I do? Why didn't I just get the shoe when I was down at Wish? So as a shooter, I haven't gone back and bought just for the simple fact that I'm really not trying to buy shoes that are older than 3 years old. I like wearing my shoes more than once. So that was the Air Max 1 that I missed out on. And the same thing kind of happened with the anniversary joints like 2 years ago. I was in Chicago when the blue ones came out. And I took an L on sneakers. I couldn't make it the same outfits. And whole bunch of stuff, man. But it's a bunch of shoes that I've missed out on in my lifetime. And those are just 2 Air Max 1s. And the Air Max 1 clearly is a shoe that I'm really digging at the moment.